Lookout Mountain Air Force Station, secret U.S. military film studio in the Hollywood Hills. And it was used to make films of nuclear testing. It's right there in the Hollywood Hills, Hollywood Bowl, Hollywood Boulevard. You know, this is where, and Mulholland Drive, this is where all the movie stars live, right around there. And now Jared Leto actually has purchased this facility as a private home now. So you can see the checkerboard floor, a lot of this pattern around this house, which is a Masonic sign, of course. There's another one, checkerboard floor. Whole house almost seems to have a checkerboard floor, doesn't it? Just about every room. So let's take a look at some of the nuclear test footage and see if it looks real to you.
1 T0.
So notice this edit right there. It makes more sense if this was just made in a studio, and you notice the music just overly dramatic and some kind of line coming across the water there. There's people watching, and I mean, this is it's just not real, you know. And there's this light. They're manipulating light, which you can do with video. That looks just like a TNT explosion to me. And now, of course, we have the Egyptian obelisk. Now we'll have a lens flare. So a lot of these start, see that? It just starts with a lens flare. And I could do that myself on my videos. It's just a huge, bright light, so you can't see anything. What looks like smoke, clouds. It's just light. In fact, you can see that there's like a ripple in the middle of that. That looks completely fake. Like a line in the middle of the mushroom part, the top of the mushroom. And it was, they just add light to it. You know, there's some background film footage of clouds, and then it's video compositing. They just add on a layer of something else. The other image of this explosion, which is most likely a miniature explosion done in a lab in the movie studio, or a real TNT explosion with lots of TNT done out in the actual desert or something. Either way, it's just an explosion. And even that, kind of the middle of the stem there, that looks completely fake. It's just propaganda is all it is. It's just lies, deception, and propaganda. And I do believe that this deception will come to play in the end times deception, where there's going to be wars and rumors of war. There's going to be a rumor of nuclear war, and nuclear weapons don't exist, so it's all going to be fake, and it's going to lead people to this panic stage. Probably, most likely Iran threatening to nuke Jerusalem, right, or Israel. And that kind of makes sense. That's what Obama's role, one of his jobs, was to kind of set up that scenario by allowing them to have nuclear power. So now they're going to make a nuke and threaten to blow up Israel, and Trump's going to get involved and stop it, and then Russia gets involved. So the world will be on the brink of nuclear war, just like JFK with the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then the counterfeit Messiah will roll in and save the day, possibly as some kind of ancient alien type of scenario thrown in as well for good measure. Here's another one with the lens flare. You can't see anything. That's easy to do. You can do that effect. Anyone could do that effect. And that's what happens when you point a camera at a sun. That almost looks like the sun, a close-up of the sun. And see those clouds? That's a layer, I think. Those clouds, those dark clouds in the foreground are one layer of film. And then there in the background is the sun, or whatever that actually is, the bright light. And they're just manipulating the light. Could be light on smoke at a real high contrast rate. Now, somebody with more knowledge of video effects would know exactly what they're doing more than me. I'm just pointing this out there, getting you to at least question the existence of nuclear weapons. At least question it, And then look at how it fades to black like that, too. And it always fades to black, and you see that light. Now, to me, it just does not look real at all. So they're faking these nuclear tests in a film studio in the Hollywood Hills that most people didn't know about. And now look at this, these buildings. Again, the way the smoke comes and stuff like this. These are miniatures, I believe, like they did in Star Wars, and that they continue to do, right? These are miniature models that are just exploded. I mean, this is a movie set, essentially. It's Hollywood, right? Laurel Canyon is in the Hollywood Hills. And people at real movie studios worked at this facility. I mean, it's all documented. People at all the major movie studios also worked here at this place, you know? So Hollywood is essentially a division of the CIA, or vice versa. Maybe the CIA is a division of Hollywood, you know, who knows? But they're all basically in the same, they have the same role of propaganda. Right there again, you know, just smoke, light, and clouds. That's all you see. I mean, there's no proof that that's real, and it doesn't certainly does not look real at all. That light is just a real high contrast light, smoke, paintings, animation, however they did it, layering most likely. In 9/11 they used video compositing, layering essentially. And it's slow motion, I believe. Slow motion explosions. That's why the clouds barely even move. That's just a slow motion conventional explosion is all that is. And then, you know, people, I've been to Hiroshima, Nagasaki, I've been there. Beautiful cities, by the way. And all that was just, you know, firebombing, traditional, conventional warfare. They wiped out Tokyo, supposedly, you know, and killed 300,000 people in Dresden and all those things. So if those are real, then that's all they did there. You know, who knows? A lot of theories out there. The whole thing is fake, so maybe that's possible as well. So all you're seeing here is bright lights, lens flaring. Maybe I'll add in a few lens flares myself. You can see I can do it here on my PC. They could do it back then, okay? There was a state-of-the-art facility. See, that's just smoke. Maybe they're just shining a spotlight on some smoke in a studio. Who knows? You know, or they're just adding in the color and saturating it. You know, and then, of course, you have the sun and the sky anyway, so you just point the camera at the sun, add some music to it and some sounds of explosions. I mean, this looks like the sun for a starter, and then they kind of expand upon that. So now you got the human guinea pigs out there. There's your flash of light. That's all that was a flash of light, lens flare. And now they're going to look at the thing, and that's just I don't know what those things on the left are either, but that's just a video effect. You know, you have people in front, and then there's like a, you know, in the old days they used to have like a video screen, and they would just be on the stage and a video playing behind them. That could be what that is, or a little bit more advanced than that, but not much more advanced than that. It's just layering. Two films layered on top of one another. One in the foreground, one in the background. Now they're going to walk towards it. Yeah, walk towards the nuke. Go shoot it. You got to shoot the nuke. They're not in the same place at the same time. Those are two different videos layered on top of one another, I believe. Puff of smoke that would come from any conventional explosion. Flash of light. That's all it is an artificial flash of light. That flash of light is not coming from the source of the explosion. It's just an artificial lens flare. Probably a miniature, I'd imagine, and maybe they have some way to get that column, that mushroom stalk kind of thing going on. Could be using airflow in a controlled environment. But even a TNT explosion does have a mushroom cloud effect. Now here's some real TNT, actually. I got this from a YouTube video. This is just regular TNT. All right, so you actually do have fire and the smoke up on top. And you're going to see this actually kind of turns into a mushroom cloud anyway. See that? Now, if they should have panned back a little bit more, but there you basically have a mushroom cloud from TNT. That was quite a bit of it. The nuclear footage is slow motion TNT, I believe, and whatever it is, it's just not real, you know. So a lot of people have figured this out. There's actually quite a few videos out there already on this topic, and I only really came across this a few months ago. Haven't had time to do tons of research into it, but just looking at these images here. And the fact that it's made in a Hollywood studio, it makes me believe that nuclear weapons, in fact, do not exist. And something to think about, at least something to question. If you haven't thought of this before, at least maybe you know, hopefully you just question it a little bit, look into it more yourself. You can look at a lot of this footage can be found on YouTube, the actual original footage from Lookout Mountain Laboratories in Hollywood, California, giving us all the best propaganda and deception that money can buy.